Thank you for tuning in to Macro View Television and welcome to a brand new edition of Taiwan Outlook, the program that presents the people and their stories on Taiwan. I'm your host, Ray Guo. Have you heard of the Hult Prize? What is it and how do people compete? And there are two things special about this year, 2015, the Hult Prize process. First, the eventual winner is a team of international MBA students from the National Chengchi University here in Taiwan. And second, the CEO and the founder of Hult Prize Foundation, Mr. Ahmad Ashkar, is actually in town to do the presentation.
Hult Prize CEO and founder Ahmad Ashkar arrived in Taiwan to personally deliver the prize to this year's recipients, 4 students of the International MBA College of Commerce at National Chengchi University. Although the recipients had already received the prize personally in New York City last month, they were still pleased to have their teachers witness the honors. The recipients are composed of Chen An-Nung from Taiwan, Taylor Scraby from Canada, Juan Diego Prudhoe from Honduras, and Andres Escobar from El Salvador. They all see Taiwan as a home and work together to create a new investment platform to fund education in impoverished areas. They hope the plans will benefit not only the rural communities of Taiwan, but also communities all over the world that lack resources for children's education. The first community that will benefit from the honors is Hsinchu County's Ufen Township, which will have an indigenous-oriented curriculum. After receiving the Hult Awards, the group said their challenge is now just beginning. With over 51 companies on board to support the platform, now all they need are passionate people to join in on the project.
On today's program, here in the studio are 2 special guests who you just have seen in the VCR in the presentation today here in Taiwan. And they are to my immediate left, Mr. Ahmad Ashkar, who is the founder and CEO of the Hult Prize Foundation. Welcome to our program, Ahmad.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a delight to have you on the program. And next to Ahmad is one of the members of the winning team from Taiwan this year, and Ms. Chen An-Nung. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Anne. Very happy to be here.
We're going to start off today's program by asking the two of you to tell us a little more about yourselves. First with you, Ahmad.
I'm a Palestinian American.
Okay.
I'm the CEO and founder of the Hult Prize Foundation, which I started back in 2009 as an MBA graduate from the Hult Business School.
All right. We're going to get to the reason, the motivation for setting up the foundation later in the program. But I learned this is your first trip to Taiwan, is it?
It is. I've traveled all across Asia.
But never to Taiwan.
I've never actually had a reason to
come
to
Taiwan.
Absolutely. So I'm very excited to be here, and I've been received by open arms from all stakeholders.
It's a pleasure to have you
Thank
here
you for
on the
having
program.
Me.
And
Thank you for having me on the show.
No problem. And An-Nung, tell us a little bit about yourself. We understand that you are a student at the International MBA program at the National Chengchi University. But other than that, we know very little about you. But tell us a little bit.
I'm a Taiwanese co-founder of Impact, a social enterprise. And I have 2 master degrees. One is the MFA in fashion merchandising.
Good.
Another one is the MBA program in IMBA.
Right.
So Hult Prize just got me to become another career path, which is social entrepreneur.
You sure you want to start your career? Because
Absolutely.
it sounds like you want to be a professional student like I did.
Well, that's the magic of Hult Prize. You can change people entirely.
Okay, good. All right. I'm going to ask this, the same question that I start off the program with. What is the Hult Prize? Excuse our ignorance, but I don't think many people in Taiwan know about the Hult Prize. Can you give us a little bit about the background, since you're the founder and the CEO of the foundation?
Sure. I created the Hult Prize as an answer, really, to the key question of what does the millennial generation want to do next in life? Right. What is more? And we discovered more to be a business opportunity that could service the poor while making money. So a sustainable way to service the poor. So we created the world's largest competition, very much like the World Cup or the Olympics, where university students from over 130 countries, representing about 20,000 applicants each year, come together to create sustainable business, which can help the poor. And we do it in partnership with President Bill Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. We're funded by Swedish entrepreneur and owner of EF, Education First, the world's largest private education company. And we're excited that every year we're able to give $1 million to the winning team. But it's not easy. It's not easy to win.
No.
But if you do, you are rewarded with a significant amount of seed capital to actually launch your business.
Okay, but Ahmad, a lot of questions will ask. A question that I want to ask is that you graduated with your MBA. You could have, gotten an offer to work anywhere and make you millions. Sure. Why do you do this?
Sure. Well, I started my career in investment banking actually in 2002.
You already made your millions.
No, it's not. Okay. It's not about
money.
Well, no, it is, but it's not about having to choose.
Okay.
And I think the misconception about creating companies or initiatives or programs that help the poor are that only people who have either gotten rich already or those that don't need the money do it. The point of the Hult Prize is to custom tailor new programs and new initiatives created by individuals like the startup that came out of National Chengchi University here in Taiwan that challenge that status quo, that say that you can create a business that helps the poor without having to sacrifice the millions that you talk about. So as an MBA student, what I found was that I didn't need to necessarily go back into investment banking to live that life of economic status.
Affluence,
absolutely. And that you could actually achieve that, but what our generation lacked was a platform for more young people to do it. And I thought of a unique opportunity to bring together the world's best and brightest to accomplish something bigger and grander than just making money.
Yeah, that's very admirable. Yes,
Thank you.
Indeed. Yes. And, An-Nung, and how did you learn about the Hult Prize? And why did you decide, along with, three of your classmates, to participate in this year's competition?
Well, as a commerce student, Hult Prize is the biggest students' competition. So for us, Hult Prize is well known.
All right, good.
Not unlike other people, they don't know Hult Prize. No. For us, Hult Prize is the biggest competition that you can ever participate. I made other 4 co-founders in IMBA programs, which is an English taught programs. And I made Taylor, JD, and Andres. One day, JD, Juan Diego, the Honduras teammates, came to me and said he wants to form a team to participate Hult Prize and asked me if I want to join his team. I was like, why not? It's open opportunities for me. And he even said that if we become the champion of campus run, we earn ourselves a trip to Dubai, the regional round. So going to Dubai was our motivation at the time to working on the Hult Prize. But after the Hult Prize, after the Dubai run, our ambition is getting bigger and bigger for sure.
We're going to get to the Dubai process a little bit later in the program. But let me ask Ahmad, what was the theme this year for the Hult Prize competition, and how was it selected?
Sure. One of the greatest things about Hult Prize is that we focus young minds on one specific challenge every year. And we unlock that human capital kind of to crowdsource the ideas. And this year's challenge was focused on early childhood education, focusing on children aged 0 to 6. And President Clinton personally selected that challenge as it's something that's very near and dear to the Clinton Foundation and obviously of Secretary Clinton. She has launched something called Too Small to Fail. So it seemed as though it was the right time to focus on this specific sector of 0 to 6 because what most people don't know is that over 90% of your mental function is actually developed by age 6. And by not providing access to affordable and high quality education, you are literally influencing and negatively could be impacting your child for the rest of their life.
And the Hult Prize has been in operation since 2009. For the last 5 to 6 years. Ahmad, what did you see from the entries that you have reviewed, from the reaction of the participants? What's the biggest attraction for university and college students, whether it's undergraduate level or the graduate level, to submit their proposal to be a competitor or participant in the Hult Prize? I mean, other than the prize money and the and the recognition, of course.
Well, the opportunity to have impact. And that's really what we're promoting around the world.
Okay.
And what makes this journey so much fun for me is that we went on a mission when we founded Hult Prize to make this idea cool. And we used to call it the pursuit of cool.
Yes.
So rather than have kids on campus figure out what's the next Facebook or what's the next Alibaba or what's the next big tech startup, how can we make it so the next big cool thing to do on campus is to win Hult Prize?
Yes.
And we were able to do that by using the competitive nature of young people around the world to do that. And you get to network and meet people from over 100 countries who participate. And we hold regional rounds in Boston, San Francisco, London, Dubai, of course, and Shanghai. And we also hold campus rounds in another 100 countries. So, there really is this global exposure. And millennials really want nothing more than to travel and get an experience more so than do anything else. So I think that's very appealing to young people.
Exactly. And finally, Ms. Chen, let me ask you, other than the prize money, the recognition, what was that one thing, if I were to ask you, that you have learned from the Hult Prize competition process?
Well, I would say it's quite surprising for me at the very beginning that people can do things that generate social good while they're still earning money. That's very surprisingly, especially for business students. We always thinking about maximizing companies' profits. However, we didn't think about maximizing social goods. That's totally different level. And Hult Prize brought me to this bigger and wilder world. And I quite enjoyed the new environment.
So you wish the ride never stops, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I would say being a social entrepreneur is the best career ever in the world because you cannot find such a meaningful and pursuit careers here.
Terrific. Ahmad, it's not every day we get a CEO of a major social enterprise foundation on the program. That I want to ask you this: since the founding of the foundation back in 2009, you've been around for 6 years, running. Did you think for all the projects and the money that you have spent, you have actually, through the Hult Prize, made people's life around the globe a little better? Whether it's in the area of sustainable development or in terms of education, in terms of poverty prevention, whichever. Did you really think that it has made an impact?
I had always hoped that obviously when starting the Hult Prize that you design something that has long-term purpose and has impact. Did I imagine that it would have the amount of scale and reach that I'm sitting here with you today, Ray, in Taiwan, talking about the Hult Prize? Probably not as quick. We've actually achieved a lifetime worth of action in only the 6 years. When we launched Hult Prize, we thought that if we could just inspire young people around the world to think differently, to think about creating businesses for good, for profit. Now, the actual impact we've had is that over 100,000 young students from colleges around the world are participating in Hult Prize. They're creating companies which are reimagining how development should operate. And that's something we're really excited about. What's also exciting is the ecosystem. So I was here today to spend time with the president of National Chengchi University. And in fact, he is telling me how he's been inspired by the Hult Prize to rethink some of the core offerings of the university. The same thing has happened in Canada and North America and across the Middle East. So what's happening is we're calling it the Hult Prize effect. Not only is it the participants who get inspired, but it's their ecosystems, and we're very, very excited about the opportunities even to come in the future.
All right, well, Ahmad, some people may ask you further that, how do you, we're convinced by what you just said, but how do you convince the people who will invest in your foundation, who will contribute money, to be the award money for all these social prizes? How do you convince them?
Yes, it's. I think the talk is easy.
Yes,
and we all know that. And I'm an iBanker by trade, and you can run numbers all day long.
Yes.
But show me the money.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, if you look backwards, let's take the winner from our 2013 Hult Prize. Not only did they create a business that helped the poor, but also made money. Our challenge that year was food insecurity. They've created a business which has created an entire industry across all of rural Africa. They are farming insects at a commercial scale. And they're the first company to do it. And it's a rather audacious company. However, if you think about it, insects by weight and ounce have more protein than their alternatives in beef, chicken, pork, etc. But at the same time, they're working now on a breakthrough product that could bring the cost of traditional protein, in case eating bugs is not your thing, down by over 70 to 80%, because they're creating an animal feed that will actually be used in lieu of traditional protein, will be used to feed the animals that we normally consume, and that feed will be made by insects, driving down the cost of things like chicken and beef by 75%.
That's impressive.
So they just raised a round of capital in the millions. I can't disclose how much. And we have offers for acquisition from some of the world's top corporations and investment bankers are chasing us. So I know that the model is validated. One other reason that people should believe what we're saying when we say we've changed the world and we're having impact, corporations are now believing that in order to maximize their own profitability, they need to go down the path of impact. And Unilever is a wonderful example of that. Paul Polman is demonstrating that you don't necessarily need to increase bottom line to increase market price. And their share price has gone up even as a result of less revenue, but more impact. So what we're seeing is there's a direct correlation between impact
and profitability.
Okay. You got it.
And I'm going to ask you that the theme this year, 2015, for the Hult Prize is how to provide quality education to children in poverty at the age of 6 and under. When you and your teammates from National Chengchi University got together and started to brainstorm about the proposal that you want to submit. And when you made the proposal, you must have felt that you had a niche, in this very competitive process over the other likely participants. What was the niche that you had in mind? And were you guys really comfortable with the proposal when you submitted, back about a year ago? Please.
We had quite different and interesting ideas starting from the very beginning. We want the campus run with different ideas, actually. And we even named ourselves the different name. It's called Roots. It's not Impact.
No.
So we keep upgrading our ideas and making our ideas more holistic. And
continue, please. And then, that happens with the best of us. We make adjustments, changes along the way. That's good. All right.
So before we go into the regional run, we feel like the original idea is not completed yet or not holistic yet. So we do a lot of research, and one of our El Salvador's teammate even went back to his hometown, El Salvador, to do a research trip. He went to urban slums and found that there are mothers running informal daycares in urban slums. So we feel like, why don't we upgrade this business? It is a very sustainable small business already. If we can upgrade this business, it can make a big difference. So that's basically how we start our impact models.
All right.
So this September, we went to San Salvador and found an urban slum called La Cuchilla. We found a mother named Alma. She is running an informal daycare, taking care of 4 to 6 children, and charging $2 a day. So we came to her and say, we want to upgrade your business. And she said, well, I don't have enough space. I can barely afford food. How could it be possible? And then we say, we will develop a platform for you, on which we will list your project. We'll help you build a daycare business. And we will give you training, so you will have the knowledge to take care of more children at the same time, children will learning in a nurturing environment.
Okay.
So that's how we start.
Okay. And we understand after winning the prize, the Hult Prize this year, the first community to receive your idea of providing quality education is actually in Wufeng, Hsinchu, in Taiwan. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about why Wufeng, why in Taiwan, and then will this process have the desired impact that you guys are looking for?
Impact can be very flexible.
Yes.
For a lot of projects, among the 6 finalists in Hult Prize, we believe that it's the more holistic and flexible model. We are not only applies to the urban slums or underserved areas, we can also apply our models in developed countries such as Taiwan.
Okay.
So Wufengxiang will be our first place to build up the impact playcares in Taiwan. Very different from the one we built in La Cuchilla in San Salvador, because the Taiwanese playcare would target Aboriginals daycare business.
Okay.
So the mothers there have to speak Aboriginal language. For example, Taya tribes, they have to speak Taya languages and use their native language to teach children and nurturing children.
Okay, and this is already giving you the feedback that you're looking for the first community to be set up with the quality child care center. Is it? Has it been in operation?
Well, we haven't started yet.
You haven't started yet.
Yes.
But you have made you have reached out to Wufeng.
We just made the announcement that Hsinchu-县Wufengxiang will be our first place to build play care.
All right.
And we were working on that from now.
Okay, good. And Ahmad, before we end this part of the program, how is the process, how does the process work? Is it a year-long process, and you go through campuses, you go through a country, region, and then of course the ultimate international finals.
It's very grueling.
I can imagine
to say the least. So there's 5 rounds of competition.
Really?
And in order for you to win the Hult Prize, you have literally beat the best, the baddest teams in the world.
Yes.
And that's why the winners are so good. Because this pipeline has been pressure tested. So you start on campus at a local round. Your university would host an internal event to find the best in your university. You then progress to a regional final round.
Okay.
You can also apply strictly online if your university is not hosting a round. So that's the first kind of 3 steps. If you win the regional, you move on to the incubator. And that is a 7-week program we host in Boston, Massachusetts, in one of the most innovative cities in the world, where our startups and our finalists have access to the very best resources in the world to prototype, because prototyping and iteration is key to any startup.
Yes.
And then our final and 5th step is the final round in New York.
Yes.
President Clinton hosts that event at the Clinton Global Initiative annual meeting.
Okay.
And for those of you that don't know what the CGI might be, it's probably and arguably the most influential meeting of the minds in the world that takes place. And our finalists pitch in front of an audience with over 1,000 people in it, which include heads of state. This year alone, we had 6 presidents in the audience, famous actors and actresses, diplomats, former secretaries from everywhere. So it's a very grueling process, which starts from September, runs all the way through the fall, spring, summer, and then back to the following September. And it's a 12-month process in total.
Yeah, well, but as the winner, once they receive the prize, they need to have the social enterprise up and running. And then do they need to make progress,
They do, and what forces them to make progress is at that final stage. So as soon as April comes around, we have our finalists. And those 6 finalists are competing head-to-head. So if one team gets a pilot off the ground, the other team knows. So, it creates the competitive nature for the other team. And that's why Team Impact has probably accomplished 3 years' worth of work in just 1.
And I'm going to start off the program by, this part of the program asking An-Nung, Can you share with us the experience that you had, in New York for the final competition, in front of, in addition to the many heads of states, Nobel Prize winner, and then also Mr. President Clinton himself. And how was the experience? I mean, there was a lot of pressure, I suppose, but other than pressure, what was going through your mind?
Well, feel very excited and very lucky that I can finally shake hands with Bill Clinton.
Okay, yes, all right.
And it's a very long process. So on the stage, my eyes were tearing and
really
so excited, and I blow out my mind, and like it's hard to believe that Bill Clinton's and like Nobel Peace Prize lawyers were standing next to me. It was one of the best experiences ever.
Eye-opening experience, I imagine, yes. But they must have already read your proposal. Yeah, what was the final competition like? Like, for example, you and your teammates need to do an oral additional presentation, maybe for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes?
Well, that's too long.
Too long. All right. How long was your presentation?
Hult Prize only give you 8 minutes to win $1 million.
All right. And how about for Q&A? I think that's where the beef is.
Q&A is five minutes.
Okay. And were the 4 of you taking turns doing the presentation, or each one of you just do 2 minutes of?
It depends on the talents of each team members.
Okay.
For our team,
how was it for you?
Take Impact Team, for example, 3 guys. The other 3 co-founders will do the pitch. And I was supposed to be responsible for the education and marketing part. Okay. However, during the Q&A sessions, we were so nervous, and the time is clicking. And the Julia Gillard, one of the judges, asked a question about mother training. And then Taylor, our CEO, supposed to give me eye contact and say, okay, this is your question. But he was very excited to answer that question.
Good. So, is he a father yet? No.
Well, not yet.
Okay.
So I totally don't mind at all, as long as the judges love our questions and loves our ideas.
Okay.
And it turned out very good.
All right. After your presentation and the Q&A were over, what was going through your mind? Did you think that, hey, this is ours, it's in the bag? And did you just feel like, hey, I've done my best, nobody else could ask for more? From
the very beginning, we all think that our idea is the most holistic one. Okay. The Hult Prize gotta choose us. Right. But we failed in Dubai, so we have no idea
Hold the thought on Dubai. I'm coming to it. Yes. All right.
Okay, so we all believe that our idea is the more holistic one, and the judges should choose us as the winner. But we don't want to be so pride or so arrogant. We want to be humble as possible. Okay. So we just act as usual and very relieved that finally it's an end.
All right. It just kind of reminded me about the PhD qualifying exam that I went through, which was that it was a 3-hour process, and end of which they asked you to leave the room, and 5 professors sat in the room and discuss whether your proposal and your answers were good enough. But I was saying to myself, I did the best I could, and if they have more questions, I'll be happy to answer them, but nobody could ask anything more out of me. But let me ask you, Ahmad, you're not one of the sitting judges, but you do recruit the judges to the competition. Let me ask you, based on the 6-year experience that you had, did you ever encounter a situation when everybody, or almost a lot, the people that you talked to, everyone felt this particular team should win the prize this year, but ended up, after their internal consultation with the judges, they decided to go with someone else? Has that ever really happened, giving you guys a complete surprise?
So you want to hear about controversy? So yeah, sure. I mean, it's tough. We recruit the world's most successful entrepreneurs, celebrities, former heads of state, Nobel Prize winners to be judges. This year alone, Judge Gillard that An's mentioned, that's former Prime Minister Julia Gillard of Australia.
Yes.
You know, and we had Mohammed Yunus and billionaire Mo Ibrahim. He's Africa's richest billionaire.
Yes.
So, you know, trying to have a conversation with people that have been so successful
at that caliber.
With that caliber is difficult. So what we try to do is recruit and coach and train friends of the Hult Prize. So all of our judges, they don't just judge that 8 minutes and leave. They're very much like the professors in your PhD dissertation.
Yes.
They know the teams, they follow the progress, and they know us. But there's always a little bit of controversy.
Yes.
And in fact, just this past year, the judges were split on who should select the winner. Team Impact for sure this year was a hands down selection, but in the year before we had the challenge on healthcare, and there was a team actually that had one of the contestants faint during their 8-minute presentation.
Really?
And that team went on to win. And they called that faint the $1 million faint.
Oh, okay.
But what people watching that don't really, you know, they don't know is that the judges do more than select based on an 8-minute presentation. There's a lot more that goes behind the scenes. And what we found with the judges, and this is why we believe in our process, is that while I personally thought another team maybe should have been considered more, you know, fast forward 12 months and I look at the progress of both teams, the one the judges selected actually was the right choice.
Okay.
So you have to be confident in your system and in the process. And that is something we certainly are proud of.
Yeah, the judges probably seen something that none of us did.
And that's why they're billionaires or Nobel laureates. So that's...
You're almost there.
I don't know about that. I'll tell you, we're enjoying the ride.
Okay, good. So. And let's talk about the process. Because even though the Impact team from Taiwan, we're very proud of you, won the Hult Prize eventually, but the process wasn't all smooth sailing from the beginning, right?
No.
And then you won the campus round, you won the Taiwan round, but you were not doing so well at the regional round in Dubai. Can you tell us what happened and what was going through your mind after you came in second at the Dubai regional round?
Sure, very happy to share this interesting stories with everyone. So at Dubai regional round, we thought we got this.
Yeah.
Because when you hear each team's presentation, you have your own selection in your mind. And before announcements, even the dean of Hult Prize Business School in Dubai came to us. She found us in the audience seat. She came to us and said, "Oh my God, you guys are so amazing. I love your presentation so much." She kept recording. She kept recording the whole presentation and said, "I love your ideas. I think you got this. No problem. You got this."
Okay.
And we were like, "Okay, suppose a good sign for us."
That's reassuring.
And so we are like 90% confidence level.
All right.
So after the judges announced, okay, this year Dubai regional round is a
someone
total.
Else.
Someone else. We're like, okay, what's going on? So we didn't. Our minds were blank, to be honest.
Okay.
But because we got so much support and so much. We received so much enthusiasm from people meeting us in Dubai. They're like, you should keep going on. They encourage us to keep going on. They believe in our project, which we believe in our projects too. So that's because of the people's encouragements, their support, their belief in us, encourage us to keep working on it.
All right. And Ahmad, you do offer a remedial avenue available.
We have some people call it a loser's bracket, which is it's not. No. It's our online round, and there's thousands of teams who participate in Hult Prize who don't win at their campus level, they don't win at the national level, and they don't either participate in the regional because of one reason or another, or they don't win the regional. So we offer them the opportunity to come back through a back channel of qualification to join the other 5 winners of the Boston, San Francisco, London, Dubai, and Shanghai rounds. And Team Impact was one of those teams, but our challenge was not easy. This year, we forced teams to actually crowdfund, to raise money online. Again, we're all about action, not much about words. So we said, look, if you think you're qualified to be a representative of one of the top 6 teams in the world competing for the Hult Prize, then create a crowdfunding campaign, put your project out there, and go raise the money for the project you want to do. And we will take the top teams that raise the most amount of money and select a winner. And that's what An and their team decided to do.
Good, and certainly worked out very well, even though the process you had a little bumps and bruises. But I think the overall, when you're looking back on the process, it was all worth it, right?
Yeah, it turned out that losing in Dubai is one of the ever best things happened to Impact Team. Because we learn how to
bounce back.
Bounce back and keep motivating and working on our projects.
Good. All right. I want to ask, the two of you a question that maybe Ahmad is better prepared to answer. Is what is the theme for the 2016 Hult Prize competition? Can you share with us and elaborate on it, please?
Sure. Love to. So at the Hult Prize, historically, we've taken on things that are more last mile distribution challenges, access to clean water, housing, food, etc. And as I look backwards, I felt that it's not enough to just bring basic human rights to people. So this year, I'm very excited. It's probably our most challenging competition yet, but it's all about doubling the income of those living inside of crowded urban spaces. And we feel like if you can double someone's income, they can actually break the cycle of poverty in less than 3, 4, 5 generations. And the economic inclusion opportunity outweighs the basic human rights kind of demands of society. And we're very excited to launch this challenge. And our hope is that 10 million people are reached by 2022. So all participants are really focusing on better connecting people, products, services, and capital to these residents of the crowded spaces.
Yes, and that is very progressive because you guys are, coming up with a theme that goes beyond just the basic human needs. And I think that's really a key to breaking, like you said, the cycle of poverty. Yes, and I want to ask, An-Nung, the whole year has been really an incredible ride for you and your teammates. And one thing that you are, able to demonstrate is that, young people from Taiwan or on Taiwan able to come up with this proposal that you're able to compete with the best and the brightest from, over 100 countries around the world. And even though at the beginning, I suppose you guys had a little identity crisis, if I may call it, because not many people around the world know about Taiwan, all right? And then they sometimes, mistook where you came from as Thailand. So how was that, having an impact on the 4 members from Taiwan National Chengchi University? Was it something that you felt, like what you're doing now in the Hult Prize is trying to generate influence, impact? Maybe in the process that you can raise Taiwan's international visibility and then, let people know there is a difference between Taiwan and Thailand.
Sure. Whenever our team presents to the audience saying, hello everyone, we are Team Impact from Taiwan National Chengchi University. And either audience are silent or they are like, oh, I love your Thai music. And then we have to correct them saying, it is Taiwan, not Thailand, and we have bubble teas, not Thai music, which is very delicious as well. So we were so happy to have more people know about Taiwan and to clear their misunderstood. And very honored to bring the glory to National Chengchi University.
And let me ask you, you and your teammates, of course, are looking at this $1 million prize. And part of the rules of the prize is you got to start operation, very soon. You already identified Wu Fengxiang as the first community, and thereafter, what are the plans to really implement the proposal and also reach the goal that you wanted to have the impact that you want?
So for Impact next year, our goal is to build 100 play cares. Both in Taiwan and Latin America.
Okay.
So in Latin America, we have the second play cares running up already. Okay. And in Taiwan, Wufengxiang will be our first play care established.
Okay. And beyond just daycare, would you, do any other similar kind of, establishment, business or otherwise to try to meet the goal that you have set for yourself?
Besides just building a lot of play cares, the daycare businesses, we will develop impact platforms. So that is something like system-changing things. Very excited next year. Okay. So impact platforms allows people, social-minded investors, has an access to invest play cares and help bring early childhood education to people in need. Okay. So this is very exciting. So once you for example, you invest a play care on our website. Okay. Once this play care generates revenues, you will get certain shares.
Okay. So make it win-win situation.
Yes, it's a win-win situation.
All right. Ahmad, for people who have won the Hult Prize, I would suppose that periodically they have to make progress reports.
That's right.
Okay, and how does that work?
Sure. In order for you to continue getting funded,
exactly.
You have to meet milestones, which are negotiated with myself and our team. But I think the most exciting thing about Team Impact is that they've developed a website, playcares.com, where any corporation, starting hopefully right here in Taiwan, can have their employees, with the click of a button and a very minimal contribution, participate in the global impact space. And build these play cares in Taiwan and across the world, brick by brick. And if Taiwan wants to put itself on the map, I think that playcares.com and Impact is a way to do that, because they will literally be impacting education in every community in need around the world. So long as that business is operational and we trust and really believe in An and her team, that there will be no issue of moderating, and not only the $1 million will go into their business, but they're also able to attract capital from around the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And they won't need it forever. No. They've built a sustainable model. Because not only are they building the play cares through money that is contributed on playcares.com, they're also making a profit on some of the money they're paying back as well to those that contribute. So it's a self-sustaining model, the best model, and the way forward, and that's what we believe in at the Hult Prize.
All right. And let me ask you this. You already graduated from the program? You're close to it?
Close to it.
Okay. And will you be thinking of, once the impact model has proved to be very successful, self-sustaining, and will you be thinking of, based on the experiences that you have accumulated from the Hult Prize process, will you be thinking of setting up something in addition, to quality education to the, 6-year-old and under, maybe doing some other social enterprises that will create another win-win situation?
Well, I believe Impact has a very promising future, so all our team members will be fully committed. Okay. I couldn't guarantee how long, but it will be very long for sure. And one thing about Impact is that we love education so much. We believe that education is the best investment. So even for Impact, like Hult Prize, Play Care is our product for early childhood education. But thinking about a bigger mindset, our impact platform can do bigger things. We can not only do early childhood education, we can also do like after-school training, or even something middle school or high school, even college. So it is a different path for sure. But so far, during the first 5 years, we will focus on early childhood education.
Okay. And finally, the question to you, Ahmad. You have done, wonderful work with Hult Prize, and you have, met some, best and brightest people, young people around the world. Certainly, the process has been very rewarding.
Thank you.
Not just in terms of money.
Sure.
But looking back, since the years that you graduated from school, if you had the choice of doing, making, a similar choice, decision again, would you do the same thing?
100%.
Okay.
In fact, I had to make that choice upon graduation from my MBA program.
Yes.
I had an offer from HSBC iBanking Group in Dubai.
Of course.
The dream job of any MBA graduate, an iBanking job.
Okay.
And I had the option to take the funding that was on the table from billionaire entrepreneur Bertel Hult, who was going to now fund the Hult Prize. And I had to make that decision. So it's a very easy flashback point of time to say, if I had to do it all over, what decision would I make? And certainly the one of going forward with the Hult Prize and the development of this platform that is not only changing the world today, but continues
in the future.
In the future is my my right choice.
Okay, and Ms. Chen, you've set the standards very high. If other Taiwanese students, college students who want to be a part of the Hult Prize, what would be your recommendation to them? We have about 1 minute.
Okay. Even though Hult Prize is a long ways journey, but still have to be passionate, and you have to be fully committed, and you have to love what you are doing.
Okay, good. And that sounds like a very sound advice. And I want to thank the both of you to being special guests on our program today. Certainly want to wish you all the best in all your future personal and professional endeavors. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for watching our program today. I'll see you next time on MacroView Television. Thank you.